It is a bit of a political conundrum, and it can be confusing for the public when they see a senator like Republican Rick Scott standing on the Senate floor saying, I support IVF, and then seeing these outcomes. Do you think there is a possibility for more bipartisan support further down the line? Is there any point of compromise? I guess what I'm getting at, is there any aspect of this issue that could be moved forward in a bill, and is the perfect the enemy of the good in this situation?
Well, this is not the perfect bill, right? The perfect bill would be to restore Roe v. Wade, or to restore or to pass the Women's Access to Reproductive Health Care Act. That would be the perfect bill. This bill is the compromise. This bill basically says it doesn't force anybody to access it. It doesn't force anybody to provide it. This bill also has a provision that says military men and women should have access to reproductive technology and should be able to freeze their sperm and eggs before being deployed to a combat zone, so that you have your genetic material safeguarded in case you are wounded or killed, so that your spouse can still continue to start that family that you dreamed of, or if you were to come home wounded, not be able to start a family without fertility treatments. And yet, even to support our military men and women, my Republican colleagues would not support it.
Senator Duckworth, in our conversation just now, you've referenced Donald Trump, and you also referenced him on the Senate floor, equating him to a bank robber who steals from the till and then calls the police himself. He has said publicly that he is a big supporter of IVF, but do you believe that? And if he were to win the presidential election in November, do you trust that he would put forth some sort of protection for IVF in his next term as president?
Donald Trump has done nothing but mislead the American people, and he's been recorded as having lied dozens and dozens and dozens of times over the last many years. Bottom line, he will say whatever he needs to try to get himself elected. I do not trust him. I do not trust the man who is responsible for the fall of Roe v. Wade, the man who boasts about putting 3 Supreme Court justices on the bench that led to the Dobbs decision, that led to the opening of these personhood amendments all across the state, who in his recent debate, presidential debate, said that he did a beautiful thing by letting the states decide what would happen. And now you see state after state after state, the state legislature has banned women's access to reproductive choice and have defined life as beginning at the egg fertilization. Even in states where, when put to the ballot, when choice was put to the ballot, the overwhelming majority of the voters voted to support choice, as happened, in many places across the country. And yet, Donald Trump continues to be very proud in proclaiming that he is the reason that women no longer have reproductive choice across this country, and that it is the states who are going to be able to decide what you can and cannot do with your bodies, including having access to IVF.